So, hi Corey and everyone who is going to be watching this. My name is Antanas, and my friend Max told me about this, and it just seems like a perfect fit. This whole high vibrational food thing. Um, though I use different language, and I talk about nourishment, which is ultimately high vibrational nourishment. It's inspired nourishment, and since we only have 5 minutes, I'm gonna cut to the chase and not go off into my long-winded conversations that swoon people and shift their consciousness so that I can slip it in.
It's true, it's true.
That's my cohort and commiserator. So the few key principles that I want to share, and I would rather teach you how to fish instead of give you fish. And in the end, I can give you plenty of recipes, but I want you to understand where these recipes come from. So inspiration is the highest possible vibration. And, inspiration is sort of synonymous with enthusiasm. And if you break down that word enthusiasm, you got theos in there, which is the divine, is God, all of that. And so if God is the vibration that is inspiring you, then you're connected. You're one. You are listening to the source as it's coming through you. And so I find myself hearing the source as it comes through food. And in my listening, I end up serving the food, not just to people, but I listen, and the food tells me how it wants to express itself in its most optimum, ideal, and most pleasurable way. So this leads to, actually backwards, to the principle of pleasure, which to me is not only critical, it's foundational, because if we are not in pleasure, experiencing the innocence of pleasure, our bodies are in fight or flight, and so there is no chance for anything higher than survival to come out of us. And if you are aspiring to lead people into ascension, pleasure, I think, is the golden ticket, or at least one of them. Joy is another one. So that's a very important thing to remember, that you don't want to cry into the stir fry, because anybody who's eating that stir fry is going to experience your tears and anything else that they may be experiencing. So, and that brings me to another concept, which is when you're making food, your hands, just like are used by massage therapists and other people to send energy, that energy goes into the food that you make. And so you want to make sure that your vibration is pretty on point in order to coax the food into its ultimate vibrational state. And if people are receiving nourishment, and there are several steps to get to nourishment, because most of the food out there is, it's not food. It's the result of, or it's created by our industrial food system, which does an incredible job of manufacturing and mass producing and creating a lot of food. But in the interest of time, it interrupts the potential. It doesn't listen to the food. It doesn't serve the food. It actually serves it serves the person who's selling the food, not so much the person who's receiving the food. So in order to get to nourishment, or make the ingredients available to be created into nourishment, one has to prepare it properly. And as just an example, a seed has to be taken out of its jacket or its shell. And because you would never eat a granola bar with a plastic wrapper on. Why would you do that with food that nature provides, which it provides to us in nearly perfect form, but we need to know how to engage with it to make it ideal and appropriate for our bodies. So once food is prepared in that way, then it is ready to be turned into nourishment. And if we nourish ourselves, then beauty is the inevitable result. And I'm using the word beauty as somewhat synonymous with ascension. Beauty in its fullest expression is expressing our fullest self, which I believe is what we're here to do, and which is what this opportunity of ascension is inviting us to live into. So my friend just gave me a 5-minute sign, so I'm going to wrap it up. This should be enough for you to know who I am, what I do, and entice you to come taste my food. Ciao.
All right. Thanks, Antanas. Just a note to Corey that don't worry about the quality of the audio or the video. We're going to improve that on the second pass.